go down. Okay. Alrighty, as always, as we get started, go ahead and take that scan of the body, starting from the top of the head and moving to the tips of the toes. As you take that scan, noticing how you're feeling this evening, noticing where those points of tension are, if you're sore anywhere, if you're tight anywhere, if you've got any spots that you know are going to need a little bit of special attention as we get started. As you find those, as you complete that scan of the body, I invite you to take any initial range of motion that will feel good for you this evening. So as always, maybe that's that comfortable seated position, our spinal twists and lateral stretches. Maybe you're at that hands and knees, so it's a cat and cow, a thread the needle, a child's pose to cobra. Just taking your time, feel it out. Maybe as usual, it's something that is a little bit different than any of those that I mentioned. And that is totally fine. As always, it is your practice and you got to do what works best for you because you know your body best. So taking about 6 or 8 nice deep breaths just to get moving, get your body going in a way that feels good at a pace that feels good for you with any of those initial ranges of motion. We're taking about 4 more nice deep breaths here. So if you have any small adjustments that you want to make, maybe twice more in each direction if you're doing something that involves 2 different directions. Fabulous. 2 more nice deep breaths just to finish it out. When you do finish those last 2 nice deep breaths, that last range of motion, those last 2 directions, go ahead and make your way to your comfortable seated position. We'll start briefly, because I do have a lot planned. I have a lot of things ready for us tonight, lots of different things. But we'll start briefly with our regular ranges of motion from the top with the head and the neck. When you get to comfortable seated, find that next big inhale for your super long spine. Exhale, drops the chin to the chest. We're going to go 3 times in each direction here. Right here towards that right shoulder. As always, you can reach down towards the mat if that feels good. Your exhale brings you down through center and then over in that second direction. Twice more each way here. Just go ahead and keep it moving at that pace of your breath, that pace that feels good, and then a depth that feels good. So as always, you can take it a little further into this stretch or a little shallower. I've got 1 more time in each direction. When I finish that 3rd time on that second side, I'm going to go ahead and drop the chin to the chest and then lift that head back up at center. And take your time finishing out, but we will just go into those nice, easy shoulder circles when you get that spine long again. So like I said, take your time, but when you get there, go ahead and find those nice big circles. Find that range of motion with the shoulders. Go ahead and give me 2 more circles in that first direction and then switch it up. Same thing other way. Fabulous. And 2 more circles in that second direction. And then go ahead and relax those shoulders nice and low away from the ears, taking it to our lateral stretch up next. Once again, we're going to do 3 times each direction. So your next inhale takes us out and up. Nice and long away from center. Pause at the top for just a moment to find that nice big stretch. And then that next exhale takes that right hand down, that left arm up over top. Nice big stretch. As always, keep the chest open. Inhale pulls us up through center and exhale in that second direction. And same as that roll of the head and the neck. Go ahead and keep moving 2 more each way. Take it at your own pace with your own breath, however long or fast that may be. And after that 3rd set, we're going to go right into our spinal twist just to keep it moving. So as always, after that 3rd one, that inhale will bring those arms back up nice and long. And then that exhale will take you in that first spinal twist direction. So one arm is going to come forward, other arm is going to come back. And once again, we'll just do 3 times each way. So go ahead and use those inhales, come through center, arms high or low, either is fine. Exhale, either direction. And I've got 1 more time each way. As always, after that 3rd and final, just bringing it back to center, relaxing the arms down if you're taking them up, and relaxing the shoulders down if you're not. All right, and then one final, just nice, easy stretch before we kind of move into our first portion is just gonna be our fold series. So we'll have those 3 folds, one each side, and then one right down the center. So I'm gonna keep that right leg in. I'm gonna take that left leg out long right in front, and we're just gonna take one fold in each direction with a little bit of a hold. So find that nice inhale and then take it into your fold however you'd like to. So you can take the arms up and hinge forward. You can roll directly into it. You can take it through both, so folding forward or hinging forward and then rounding into it. Whatever feels good here. We've got 3 nice deep breaths. After that third nice big exhale, go ahead and inhale to roll it back up. We're going to switch to that other leg first before we come down the center. So pulling that left leg in, taking that right leg out long, same thing. Find your inhale and then go ahead into that nice fold, however feels good for you. So again, maybe you take it up first and hinge forward. Maybe you roll directly into it. Find that nice stretch, whether it be through the back of the leg that you need more or through your back. Excellent. 2 more nice deep breaths here. And then that next inhale, we'll go ahead and roll you up. And then we're going to take it down center, but you get to choose your version of center. So depending on what you like best, you can take both legs right out in front, nice and long. You can take it into a little bit of a straddle. You can take it into more of a straddle. You can pull it into that butterfly. Wherever you need that fold to be this evening is fabulous, but we're going to go down center and go ahead and find it again in whatever way works best for you. So maybe you come up first and hinge at those hips. Maybe you roll into it. Maybe you're in that butterfly, so you don't get quite that range, but it feels good for those hip flexors. Excellent. 3 nice deep breaths right down the center. Fabulous. With your next inhale, go ahead and roll it up, release that. If there's any final range of motion that you need, feel free to find it. And then we are going to bring it over. Like I said, we're going to start with that wheel. I'm going to bring my camera down just a little bit. Get a little bit better of an angle, space for my feet. All right, so we're gonna bring it on over and we're gonna work our way up because we don't wanna go directly into that wheel. So we're gonna start with a little bit of activation, a little bit of stretching. This is that part where if you have that strap and you'd really like to use it, you are more than welcome to. Here we go. All right. And we're going to start with just a nice, easy quad stretch as we get going. So when you do come down onto the stomach, taking it nice and flat, tops of those feet meet. That forehead can come down to the mat for just a moment if you need it. Try and find that nice exhale, just kind of release, relax, let gravity pull you down towards the mat. From there, I'm going to find my right side quad stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and point those right toes up towards the ceiling and reach my right arm around to catch. Well, from here, I can't quite get it. So you've got some options. If you can get it from there, that's fabulous. Go ahead and grab it and pull it in. If you can't, you can always come up onto that left elbow and give yourself a little bit more space for that stretch. Now for this one, you've got some options to feel that stretch. If this is enough, keep it right here. If you need a little more, you can pull in a little bit. And if you need even more, that right knee can lift just slightly up off of the mat as you find that stretch. So we're catching those right toes with that right hand, a little bit of shoulder stretch here as well, and finding that nice stretch. Getting those quads ready to go. You might feel this a little bit in your back too, and that's okay. As always, not painful, but maybe just a stretch. With your next exhale, go ahead and release that one down, and we're just gonna switch sides. So same couple of options. You can be on that right elbow. Maybe you're down a little lower, and that finds that stretch a little bit better. You can always pull that heel in a little tighter or lift that knee up just slightly to increase that stretch. Fabulous. And we're just going to do that one more time on each side. So go ahead and release that left side, bring it back around to that right. Excellent. And we're just going to increase that intensity and take it a little bit closer towards our wheel. I want you to go ahead and press your hand and your foot into each other, and that is going to press the knee up off of the mat a little bit. So I have my hand around to the top of my foot and pressing the top of my foot into my fingers or into my palm just to create that tension. Add that little bit of work to that stretch, and the knee is lifted here for me. Next exhale, go ahead and release that foot, and then same thing, other side. So first, go ahead and find that stretch. Take a moment. Same couple of options there. And then let's add that intensity, add that activation. Press the palm and the top of the foot into each other. Add that little bit of activation, that little bit of a knee lift. Fabulous. And that next exhale, you're going to go ahead and release and relax it. I want you to go ahead and bring those hands right outside the chest. If you were here on Monday, we did a lot of these. We're going to do a lot fewer of them tonight, but we'll still do a couple for that spinal activation. Keeping the tops of those feet planted on that mat. Those hands are right outside the chest, but we're going to lift them an inch or two up off the mat. We're going to start with our activation through the back. So I want you to pull those shoulder blades together. Maybe that looks a little bit like pulling your elbows together. Keep the neck nice and neutral, and then go ahead and lift that torso, peel that torso up off the mat. Maybe you have just an inch or two. Maybe you've got a little bit more of a range, little hold at the top, and then that exhale, nice and gently go ahead and set it down. We're going to do that 2 more times, lifting those palms, activate the shoulder blades, pull them together, peel up off of the mat. When you get to the top, give me one nice deep breath there. And then gently go ahead and set back down. One more time, just like that. Those palms lift, those shoulder blades activate, and we peel up off of the mat. Nice deep breath. And go ahead and lower. We're going to add to it and take that activation up for our Superman. Take those arms out nice and long. The tops of those feet start on the mat, but this time you've got the option to lift them. From here, we're just going to take it up, our deep breath at the top, and then bring it back down. So up into that Superman, lifting the torso and the legs if that feels okay. Big inhale and exhale. And then lower back down. We're going to do that twice more. So go ahead, lift. Find that pause at the top, big inhale and exhale. And lower one more time, just like that. We've got that lift. Big inhale and exhale. And lower, excellent. All right, we're gonna take those feet out of it again, but we're gonna add a little shoulder stretch. So to go into our full wheel, we are eventually gonna be reaching around to catch those feet. So I'm just gonna mimic that a little bit by either pressing those palms towards each other right behind the back. So similar to that floating, we're pulling the shoulder blades together. If you have the range to do it, you can interlace those hands behind the back and then open up through the chest. And we're just gonna find 3 of those little chest floats, keeping those feet planted on the mat. So either the palms are pressed towards each other, we're activating through the shoulder blades, or the hands are interlaced. We're gonna peel up, find that nice inhale and exhale. And then lower back down. If you need to release those hands with each one, that's fine. 2 more just like that. Peel it up, find that big deep breath. And then lower it on down. One more time, just like that. Peel it up, find that deep breath. And then lower it down. Excellent. All right, we've got one more thing just to find that warm up, and then we'll find our wheel. So we're going to start back in that Superman with that lift, and we're going to find our lat pull down range of motion. So just activating the rest of the back. This one, once again, we're going to do 3 times. Take it nice and slow and controlled. Into that Superman first. Let's lift up both directions. Then we've got our lat pull down range of motion. Elbows come down towards the side. Arms stay floating. And then we take it back out nice and long. And then we pull it back down towards the mat. 2 more times, just like that. We've got that lift. We're pulling it in, pulling the shoulder blades together, activate the lats, press back out, and lower down. One more time, exactly like that. We've got that lift. We're activating those lats. Pull the elbows down, extend back out, and lower it down. Fabulous. All right, we're going to come into this wheel just twice, and we're going to find a little bit longer of a hold in it. Twice because we're going to start from one side and then we're going to start from the other. So I'm going to start from my right side. So same way that we started that stretch. Toes point up. I'm reaching that right hand around to grab the top of that foot. Now from here, Taking a little bit of that activation, a little bit of that bending. I'm going to lift my left toes up. I'm going to release that support hand, that left hand from the mat, and reach it around. Again, same couple of options here. Maybe that takes that little bit of activation to reach it around. Maybe you can't quite reach it, so you just go ahead and press that foot back down, and then we're just going to find that activation. But if you do have that wheel, then we are going to find that full activation. Press the palms into the tops of those feet. That'll find that little bit of a lift, a little bit of a stretch, and then activation through the spine. Taking a small hold here, but I want you to keep it active. So don't relax the back. Don't put all that pressure there. We're kind of on those hips, kind of on those ribs. Next exhale, gently go ahead and lower the knees, release the pressure, let those feet come back down, maybe shake out the shoulders. Excellent. Now on this second side, I'm gonna start from my left side. If you couldn't quite get that full wheel, you couldn't quite reach that second side, that's fine. We're still gonna do our left here and even it out. We're reaching around to grab that left foot. That same activation comes, we're gonna pull those right toes up, lift up off the mat, reach that hand around, try and grab for that right foot. And then there we go. We're gonna press those palms and the tops of those feet into each other. A little bit of a shoulder stretch there. Nice, little bit of lower back work. Activate those glutes, press it up, keep that core active. One more nice deep breath. Big inhale. And exhale. And go ahead and release it on down. Fabulous work. We're going to take one spinal twist in each direction to release it. I'm taking those arms out into a T. I'm going to take those right toes, point them up towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to bring them around to the outside of the left side of my body. Now, if you need a little bit of extra space on the upper portion of the body, you can press up a little bit, but if not, you can keep it nice and close. A little bit of a hip opener there for you too. Let's take it back through center and then hit that other side. So left toes point up, we bring them around to the outside of the right side of the body, a little bit of a different version of our spinal twist. Fabulous, go ahead and release that, bring it back to center. We're gonna press it back just briefly to our child's pose to give that lower back a little bit of a release. Knees come wide, big toes close together, hips back towards the heels. Try and find that nice big inhale and exhale to release that pressure on the lower back. Excellent. We're going to get some hip work in tonight as well. We're going to take it to our sideline leg lifts. I'm just going to start facing you guys. So I'm taking it out long. I'm going to roll onto my left side. My right side is going to start on the top. Choose the option that works for you if you prefer to start on one side, or if one side gets you facing the camera and it's not the one that I'm on, that's totally fine. If the camera is facing the short edge of your mat and you can't quite see either way, choose the one that works best. We're going to start with that ear on that bicep, so we don't want to lift that head out of alignment. We're going to keep it nice and low. I'm going to use my top hand and bring it right in front for just a little bit of support. We're going to do a 5 + 5 + 5 × 2, so we've got 3 different ranges of motion. We're going to do 5 of each of them. We're going to start with that top leg lift. I'm going to flex my foot, and we're just going to do 5 lift and lowers from here. Keep those hips stacked right on top of each other. Lift it up through its range of motion. Keep that foot flexed, toes towards the shin, and then back down. If you want a little bit more of a core challenge, you can bring that hand to that hip. It's making that core work a little bit harder just to keep those hips stacked on top of each other. Keeping it moving right like that, finishing out your 5. When you finish those 5, we're gonna externally rotate that foot. So we're gonna point those toes up towards the ceiling, that heel down, or we're externally rotating the hip as well. So from there, 5 more of those with that external rotation, nice and controlled up through your range of motion and then back down. Again, you can use that top hand for support. Either way, we're keeping those hips stacked. Fabulous. When you finish those 5, we're just going to go ahead and internally rotate at that hip. So turning those toes down and that heel up. And then same thing, 5 of those. That heel leads. Maybe this side does not feel as good. Probably this side does not feel as good. And you don't have quite as much of a range of motion. That's okay. That's why we're working it. Again, hitting those 5. When you hit those 5, go ahead and release and relax that top leg. Maybe you bend that knee, bring it down to the front a little bit. Give that hip a second. All right, as our recovery, we're going to take it through a bicycle range of motion. We've got both directions. We're going to start with that top foot stacked once again. So go ahead and lengthen it if you bent that knee. Our bicycle range of motion is going to start like a regular bicycle, where we're going to just move that foot slightly to the front here. The leg is going to be long as we move it backwards, and then we're going to bend it as we come up and over. So long as we move back, when you hit the back of your range of motion, bend that knee, come up and over, and then extend it at the front. So a couple times in that first direction here, just go ahead and keep it moving, no specific count, and I'll let you know when to switch it up. Now this one, again, keeping that core nice and tight, keeping those hips stacked. You don't want to move front to back, but maybe that means you have to decrease your range of motion a little bit to keep you nice and steady. Give me 2 more in this direction, 2 more in this direction. And then we're going to switch. We're going to do it kind of backwards there. So we're going to bring it to the front with that leg long. So when you hit the back of that range of motion, to the front with that leg long. When you get to the front, bend the knee, bring it up and over like you're pedaling backwards. So backwards on that bicycle a couple times. Fabulous, fabulous. Give me 2 more in this backwards direction. When you finish those 2, give that top leg a little break. Nicely done, nicely done. We're keeping those hips working. We've got 1 more set. We're just going to do that 5 + 5 + 5. So starting with that top foot flex, nice and even. We got those 5 lift and lowers. So go ahead, get it going. When we finish this 5 + 5 + 5, we'll take a little break and we'll bring it to that other side. Fabulous. Now that second range of motion is that external rotation. So those toes point up, that heel points down, getting it moving right like that. My hip is certainly tired. If yours is, that's okay. You can decrease your range of motion a little bit, or maybe just cut out that 5th rep and just find 4. Strengthening these muscles here is going to help a lot with that knee health, making sure that those knees are nice and strong. When you finish that second 5, we've got that internal rotation to finish out. Toe down, heel up. Finishing with that 5. When you finish that third 5, give your top leg a nice break. Excellent work, excellent work. Whew. Oh man. Good job, good job. All right, so go ahead and give it just a moment. Maybe you bend that knee. Maybe we bring it over onto our back and you pull it in towards the chest. Give it a couple circles in each direction. Nice. And we've got to hit that other side. We've got to even up. So we're going to go ahead and roll it over when you finish that little bit of a recovery for that first side. Bring it to your second side. I'm only turning all the way over so I can continue to face you. If you need to, you can just roll it right over on that mat. That is fabulous as well. We're going to start with that 5 + 5 + 5 again. On that first side or that second side, now this might feel a little more challenging because that support side has already been worked. So from that second side, those feet are stacked, that foot is flexed. We're going to go ahead and find that lift and lower. Here we go. 5 of those. You know the drill here. We're getting it going. Same thing on our second side. When you finish those first 5, we've got that external rotation. Toe up, heel down. Nice external rotation of the hip. And then that third range of motion for our third 5 is that internal rotation, that toe down, and that heel up. Fabulous, fabulous. When you finish those 3, go ahead, take that little break. Whew. Nicely done, nicely done. Alrighty, we've got our bicycle next. We're going to start in that regular direction, our front pedal. So we're going to start foot slightly to the front. It's long as we move backwards. When we hit the back of our range of motion, we bend that knee, bring it through, and pedal it around. So there we go. Go ahead and get your bicycle going when you're ready. Give me a couple in that regular direction or front pedal direction. Again, trying to keep those hips stacked, which means I want you to try and keep your core engaged here, even if you use that front hand for a little support. Excellent, excellent work. All righty, go ahead and give me 2 more nice pedals in this first direction. When you finish those 2, we're switching that range of motion just to the opposite. So when you hit the back, we're going to just reverse it. Straight leg towards the front. When you hit the front, bend that knee, bring it up and over in our back pedal. Hips stay stacked. Keep it going. Nice work, you guys. We're almost through this portion. If those hips are tired, that's okay. Stick with me for another couple of moments. Excellent job. Give me 2 more pedals in this second direction, and then all we've got left is that 5 + 5 + 5. One final time there. When you hit those 2, go ahead and rest and relax. 2 more, and then rest and relax. Give yourself a sec. Give that hip a little bit. Excellent. All right, let's finish off strong here. 5 + 5 + 5. Start with that straight leg, that foot flex, that toe nice and even with the heel, that lift and lower. Here we go. Excellent job. When you finish that first 5, external rotation, top toe or toe points to the top, heel points to the bottom. Oh man, it's gonna hurt tomorrow. There we go, there we go. When you finish those 5, we've got that internal rotation to finish out. When you finish your third set of 5, go ahead and take that break again, maybe the same way that you did before. Maybe you just give yourself that break. Maybe you roll it onto your back. Those nice hip circles. Either way is fabulous. Ooh. All right. Okay, fabulous. And we are going to take it onto our back next. So go ahead and give yourself that last moment. Bring it on over to your back if you were not there already. Center yourself on the mat. Let's hit a little bit of core front work. So we hit our core back, we hit our hips. We're going to do a little core front. So take a moment when you get there, pull those knees in towards the chest, give yourself small circles, maybe that side to side, maybe that front to back. Fabulous. All right, we're going to get working. We're going to start with our legs out nice and long on the mat, heels down on the mat. We're going to do a full sit-up and then a forward fold. So we're going to use our momentum as we would for our roll-up. We're just going to make it a little more challenging with those legs long. So start with that inhale. Those arms come up overhead. Use whatever momentum you need to come all the way up to that seated position. When you hit the top, then we're going to take it into a nice fold and then roll it on down. So from there, it's just that nice roll down. Go ahead a couple times. Keep it going at your own pace. If you can't quite get up without that momentum, use it to come up tall, and fold it forward. Keep it going like that. If you can, use a little less momentum. So bring it up, just use as much as you need. Give that core its challenge here. Fabulous. Give me 2 more of those from wherever you are. 2 more. When you finish those 2, bring it back down onto your back. Keep those legs long for me. Take just a moment right where we are. All right. Fabulous. From here, we're going to take it into a suitcase. If that suitcase is not going to work for you tonight, you've got that thing that we just worked on, so that full sit-up. If that full sit-up is a little bit too much for you for this last set here, you can bend the knees and plant the feet and turn it into a roll-up. Our suitcase, instead of keeping those feet on the floor, is going to pull them up in towards the chest with those knees in. So I'm, instead of coming up and over, going to circle around. I'm going to pull up off the floor, kind of like to our boat pose. And then I'm going to take it right back down, out and long. Now, with each of these, you can rest those heels down if you'd like. For a little more challenge, we're going to float them up off of the mat from that resting position. When you're ready, go ahead and join me in those suitcases. Use that exhale to come up off the mat. If you can't quite do it, but you don't want to do that sit up, plant those hands and press yourself up as you pull those knees in towards your chest. So use those palms for that little bit of extra support in that suitcase. You guys are doing awesome. We are almost there. A little bit more work with me tonight. Finishing off that Wednesday before that holiday. Excellent job. Give me 3 more of these. 3 more of these. Use that exhale. Come up to the top and then bring it back down. Nicely done. Nicely done. When you finish, same thing. Take those legs long. Take those arms up. Find that nice big stretch. Whew. Alrighty, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to do single leg this time. So same range of motion, but just single leg. Your 2 options, depending on what difficulty you would like, is to start with both legs floating again, and we're just pulling that right knee in towards the chest as we come up and come back down. Your second option, if that core is not feeling it tonight, or this is a little bit too challenging, plant that left heel and use it for support as you pull that right foot in towards your center. So I'm pressing my left heel down into the mat rather than having it float and using that support. When you're ready, right side first, give me a couple here. That right knee is going to pull in, that left leg is going to stay long. We did that nice glute med work. Now we're hitting those hip flexors. You guys are doing awesome. Stick with me here. Give me 2 more on that right side. 2 more on that right side. When you finish those 2, take your break. Give yourself that little bit of relaxation. Let those feet come down. Whew. Excellent work. Excellent work. All right, we're going to do that left side. We're going to finish this portion with a little bit of a boat hold. Then we'll move it on. Here we go. When you're ready, same options. Left side, left knee comes in, right leg stays long. Whether you have it on the floor for that support or whether you float it for that extra challenge. Keep working, you guys. We're almost there. We're almost there. You guys are doing awesome. Use that breath. Use that exhale to come up. Excellent, excellent job. Give me 3 more on this left side, 3 more here. We're almost done. When you finish that third, go ahead and release and relax. Give it a moment. Nicely done. All right, as promised, 1 more core movement, and then we're going to flow it out just to finish us off this evening. All we've got left in our core work is our boat hold. So from here, we're going to use 1 last suitcase to get up into that boat hold. So find that inhale, arms up overhead, or exhale, pulls those knees up, pulls that torso up. When you get to the top, you can stay right here if you'd like. If you need a little less, plant those heels if you want a little more, lengthen those legs into that full boat. Either way, I want you to find that nice long spine. So making sure that we're not rounding out that lower back, and don't forget to breathe. Don't hold your breath just because we're in an isometric hold here. Nicely done. We're just here for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, pull it back, pull those knees in, give yourself that rock side to side in little circles. Fabulous work. All right, as promised, we're just going to flow it out to finish it out, and we've got just a little bit of time left, so let's bring it up to standing at the top of our mat. Bring it on up, bring it on up. Whew, quick transition. We're finishing out strong here. We are almost done this evening. We've only got 2.5 minutes left, so we're going to get through once on each side. We've got our sun salutation flow to finish us off. We're at the top of our mat. Let's find that inhale, arms up overhead, exhale into our forward fold. So inhale takes us up, exhale folds us forward, fingertips towards the toes. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. We're taking it into our crescent next. So right foot steps back nice and long, toe down, heel up. Sweep those arms up into that nice crescent lunge. Excellent. Next exhale, folds us forward. Fingertips surround that foot. Downward facing dog one time through low flow. Right foot back to meet the left. Shoulders over wrists, toes or knees. Chaturanga lowers us down. And then press the chest up, cobra or up dog. Turn those toes under, press those hips up and back, down dog. Bend the knees, step or hop those feet forward to meet those hands, forward fold. As always, you can stay low. We are going to use one breath to come up and all the way back down. Inhale takes us up to our extended mountain. Exhale back into that fold. Halfway lift with your inhale. Exhale to fold. Left leg steps back nice and long, toe down, heel up, crescent lunge, sweep the arms. Nice bend in that right knee. Fabulous, find that balance, keep that core engaged. Exhale, folds us forward, hands surround that right foot. Right goes back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Low flow, final time, shoulders over wrists, toes or knees, elbows stay close, chaturanga lowers us down. Press the chest up, cobra or up dog. Turn those toes under, activate the core, press the hips up and back, down dog. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet forward to meet those hands, forward fold. Inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale just brings those arms down and around. Fabulous. 2 more nice deep breaths with me here. Lead with those arms. Inhale takes us up. Exhale brings them down. Final one, those palms are going to meet right up overhead. Inhale takes us up. Palms meet. Exhale pulls the hands down to heart center. Thank you for joining me this Wednesday. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your night, fabulous rest of your week. I hope to see you next time. The light in me honors the light in you. Bowing as we say, namaste.
Thank you.